Congratulations to all of you who competed and who participated. I just want to share a couple quick remarks about the symposium and our thoughts about that, and then introduce Justin to you all so that you can hear from him. As Peter said, it's the 6th annual symposium, and Salt Lake Community College is really committed to affordable, high-quality higher education for anyone who wants it. And one of the things that we're very, very proud of is that high-quality part of that statement. So as much as we feel accessible, as much as we feel welcoming, as much as we try to keep our tuition and fees and book costs down, more importantly, we hire phenomenal faculty who want to be here and want to teach. And we keep our ratios really low so the academic experience, the classroom experience really impacts the learning. So the faculty members that are here tonight and those that you've experienced, I hope you will find, are here for very, very personal reasons, and that's because they know the power of teaching and learning, and they're very dedicated to that. This particular symposium, though, takes that to another level. As Craig was talking about with high-impact practices, many of our faculty are adopting, whether it's research, whether it's learning communities, service learning in the classroom, action research, et cetera, different methodologies and pedagogies that they infuse in their classroom to make sure that the learning is really sticking. It's not just rote, it's not memorization, it's really being thoughtfully applied. And as I listened to some of the presentation names as Dean Caldwell was reading those out, it's clear that you're taking very complex constructs and applying them to a variety of topics in our world and the way that our world works. And that is so imperative to be able to have that skill. The only thing we can bet on is change. And so you're going to be solving problems that are very, very different in 20 years than the problems we have right now. And to the extent that we can help you think through how to do that, I think we've done our job. So I really, really appreciate the faculty and the administration, the associate deans and all those that really thoughtfully thought about how do we help students get involved in a practice that's going to really strengthen and deepen their learning. I want you to just know that this is supported not only by your faculty members and your academic administrations, but folks from IM Flash and the Utah NASA Space Grants Consortium were also very generous and helped us as sponsors put together this symposium. So let's do a round of applause for our sponsors. Thank you very much. I also want to thank our guest speaker from lunch. Did she have to leave? Oh, she had to leave to go to the airport, but I understand it was a great lunch remarks, and I wanted to make sure that she knew of our appreciation of her being with us today. So let me introduce Justin Furey, who's the Director of Manufacturing Engineering at IM Flash. Again, one of the companies that knows how important it is to invest in the future workforce, and so is here listening to you and learning about what we're teaching and working with us to teach in a more effective way to make sure that they've got the trained employees they need at IM Flash to do great work. Justin, as the Director of Manufacturing Engineering, it's a joint venture between Intel and Micron. It's based in Lehigh. How many of you have heard of IM Flash? Probably lots of people in the room. Okay, great. They make the memory technology that is used in your cell phone, your laptops, and the data centers that power cloud computing. So very important work that's being done just at the point of the mountain for us. They're now embarking on an emerging memory technology that will revolutionize the way we store data and enable the next step forward in the Internet of Things. So Justin has been in this career field for 20 years, proud to be part of a fast-moving, highly complex, ever-changing industry. He graduated with production and operations management from Boise State University and began his career with Micron overseeing production ramp product lines before coming to IM Flash in 2006. So get this, in his current role, he oversees 24/7, 365 manufacturing environment, especially focused on equipment maintenance and efficiency, product quality, and increasing labor efficiency through automation and remote operations. He's working hard to establish relationships and programs with local colleges and universities such as Salt Lake Community College to support those technical skills that you're going to need to be part of that ever-changing, fast-growing, innovative workplace. So please help me welcome and thank Justin and IM Flash for their great support of this symposium.
Okay, well, thank you very much. First of all, wow, what a great event you guys have going on here. I was able to take a walk through the projects and some of the presentations, and you could truly see, the pride, the energy from the students, from the faculty. I can't imagine all the work that has to go in to pull off an event like this, and to be able to close it up with a nice dinner like this. I see some of you have been able to bring some family. Congratulations to the winners tonight, but really everyone involved with this should get a round of applause for the amount of effort they put in. You can really see a great product. So on behalf of IM Flash, I want to say we're thrilled to be a part of a program like this, an event like this. We are continuously looking to engage and support, not only at junior high level, high school level, and even beyond, everywhere we can to continue to engage and build that pipeline of technical talent. We truly see that we rely on that technical talent, and our future really is banking on people getting interested in technology and looking for those careers. When I was personally asked to speak tonight, I wanted to jump on it. If I look at my operation, we have hundreds of technicians, hundreds of engineers within our organization that we're constantly looking at. And I'm going to talk a little bit tonight around the manufacturing environment, our industry that we're in, that IM Flash is in, but also some of those needs and what you can expect as you go out into the workforce. So to start with a little bit about me, you can see from the pictures up here, at my core is my family. My family is my foundation. They're the ones that support me in everything that I do from a career standpoint, and have always been there for me. In terms of my career in manufacturing, I kind of stumbled into it. I really had no intention of going into technology or manufacturing. I was going to school for accounting. In the summers, I would fight forest fires. I grew up in Salmon, Idaho, so I'm a small town guy, and would make enough money fighting fires. I'd go to school for accounting. I was going to Boise State, and I had an aunt that worked at Micron Technology. She worked in their IT department. She kept telling me, Justin, you should apply at Micron. They'll pay for your education, you can build a career, you get your foot in the door. And my response was always, no, I'm not going into manufacturing. I'm a firefighter in the summer. I run a chainsaw, I like the excitement. That quickly changed as I had my first son. And I was gone for most of the summer and didn't get to see my newborn. And I kind of realized I needed to do something different. I needed to find a way to support my family through college. So I applied at Micron Technology, and within 3 months, I was obsessed with manufacturing. I've been in the industry for 20 years and am still obsessed. If I look at the competitive environment, the ever-changing challenges as we bring new technology and the impact our technologies in the world, every day I wake up, I wonder how we're doing. I'm constantly driven by our manufacturing performance. And I really, looking at my career, some of the things that have helped me along is always asking the questions, can we do this better? And you're going to see me talk a lot about that around the competitive nature and the continued evolution of manufacturing in the industry as a whole. I'll be speaking to IM Flash specifically, but finding that edge on how can we do this better has really revolutionized the way the manufacturing environment has changed over the years. I've been involved with several different startups. I started with Micron in Boise, Idaho. I was part of Micron's first 300 millimeter ramp in Virginia. In 2006, I moved to Lehi, Utah, and started IM Flash. We've been there for about 10 years. Through that, I helped with the initial planning and startup of another site in Singapore. And really through my career, I've developed deep friendships and a network of resources from Japan, Taiwan, Italy, Singapore, and several different spots over the US. So this manufacturing network really close-knit and continuing to work together to drive the industry forward. So as mentioned earlier, IM Flash is a joint venture between Intel and Micron. 49% Intel, 51% Micron. We have two customers. We supply them the NAND memory, and they incorporate into their products and send them into the market. So as kind of mentioned, we make NAND memory. If you have a cell phone, you're using NAND memory. If you have a laptop, you're using NAND memory. If you use Facebook, anything with cloud computing. NAND is really part of our everyday life, and it's enabling kind of the future direction of where this industry is going. If you look at our competitors, we have three main competitors. We have SK Hynix, Toshiba, and Samsung. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you look at the industry as a whole, you're going to hear me talk a lot about competition. You can see the amount of investment in that top graph there with a 13% increase every single year. And this is in billions of dollars, for $10 billion over 2014. But if you look at the number of players in the industry dropping from 29 down to 6. So the number of players in this industry has really dropped out, and that's because of the competitive nature of the industry and the cost that it takes to get into it. And if you talk about the cost that it takes for a facility, if you look at our facility in Lehigh, $4 billion to get that manufacturing facility up and running. That's a huge investment. Not many people can get into this industry. And if we look at some of our next generation facilities, they're going to be upwards of $10 billion. And if you look at that compared to some of the other industries that are out there, a mall of 25 million, a cruise ship, we really don't get in the same amount of investment until you get into an aircraft carrier. So when we talk about manufacturing, we talk about innovation, you've got to get the most out of every single minute and every single dollar that you've invested in this facility when you put $4 billion into a facility. So I've talked a little bit about who I Am Flash is. I think you kind of can see the amount of investment and competition that comes with this industry. I kind of want to show you a video here. It's about 3 minutes. Kind of gives us a quick short story of how I Am Flash came about and how we've been able to compete in this industry.
Here's the thing that makes life so interesting. The theory of evolution claims only the strong shall survive. Maybe so. Maybe so. But the theory of competition says just because they're the strong doesn't mean they can't get their asses kicked. That's right. See, what every long shot come from behind underdog will tell you is this. The other guy may in fact be the favorite. The odds may be stacked against you, fair enough. But what the odds don't know is this isn't a math test. This is a completely different kind of test. One where passion has a funny way of trumping logic. So before you step up to the starting line, before the whistle blows and the clock starts ticking, just remember out here, the results don't always add up. No matter what the stats may say, and the experts may think, and the commentators may have predicted, when the race is on, all bets are off. Don't be surprised if somebody decides to flip the script and take a pass on yelling uncle. And then suddenly, as the old saying goes, we got ourselves a game.
If I talk to our story, we got into the manufacturing and NAND, and we were essentially a technology behind. There was a lot of skeptics out there that said we would not be able to ramp as quickly as we had projected we were going to do. And at the time, as we went into that ramp, we were one of the fastest ramps in the industry. We had our first wafer out within 9 months of start of construction. We leapfrogged technology. We leapfrogged our competition out there, and that actually got a generation ahead of them. A lot of great publicity, and we had a bunch of great sound effects and articles coming forward. I won't be able to quote all those. But really an inspiring story of an underdog coming in and taking a leadership position. And in 2014, we received Semiconductor of the Year. So a pretty prestigious award. We got to see our logo in Times Square. But it's something, you know, at IM Flash that we're very proud about. If you're to walk across our campus, you would see the pride and the pride and that underdog mentality of going out and leapfrogging the competition. And we're getting ready to do that again, and I'll talk a little bit about that here in a few slides. And if I think, I keep talking about this competition, and I keep talking about this investment, and you might be thinking, why would you want to get into this industry, and what are these companies chasing? And it's really data and the speed of that and getting that data. If you think about how the internet has changed our lives and changed our world, everybody is out there sharing videos, we're sharing photos, and we want it quickly. Nobody wants to wait. That customer wants it instantaneous. But if you think about all these transactions in an internet minute, Netflix, almost 70,000 videos out there, 701,000 Facebook logins in 1 minute, 38,000 photos being posted on. All of that is consuming data. And you want to get it up there in the cloud, and you want to be able to get it quickly. And that's what this industry is about. We're chasing this need, and really what the customers are driving, and we're having to try to find cost-effective and technology that can perform at the speeds to provide that experience. And if you look at the timeline of memory, like I said, NAND flash was the last really revolutionary technology in 1989. It's been decades since a new technology has come out, until in 2015, we started introducing 3D XPoint. And 3D XPoint is going to be that technology for us and for this industry that gives us that speed that the customers are going to want to see. But it also does it at a cost point where customers are able to pay for it. Everybody wants the speed, but everyone wants to be able to pay for it and be able to afford it too. 3D XPoint is going to be our technology that will enable that for the customer. Now, we've been getting a lot of buzz out there about this new technology, and I say we have the technology out there. And you can see what's happening in the press. There's a lot of excitement about it. But we as a manufacturing team, and as I say manufacturing team, it's the engineers within IM Flash. It's the technicians working 24/7 that really make it available to the customer. They're the ones that bring it to the cost effectiveness and the quality levels that we're able to make an industry from it. Your type of positions as you graduate and you go into the industry is what's going to directly tie to that and creating this new experience in the industry. So how do you keep up with a fast-paced environment? There's a couple lessons learned that I want to kind of share with you as I've gone through my career. And the first is embrace change. Our environment, our jobs, our roles, everything that we do is going to change. And it seems easy. Well, of course it is. We've all seen it. But typically people fight change. And the ones that are truly successful and the ones that have successful careers and grow within their lives are the ones that embrace change, that are driving change. I think there's better ways to do this. I want to own this problem and find a new solution. If you look at manufacturing as a whole, manufacturing output has stayed, somewhat flat if you look at the whole industry for the last 70 years. But then employment has been dropping. Now, it's not put out there to scare you. And a lot of times I get questions about that. Are we going to automate our jobs away? And that's no. But our jobs are changing. If you look at people in the industry today, their jobs are changing. If I look at my organization, we've had to what we call upskill 4 different times over the last 20 years that I've seen. And it's entire organizations having to take on new training, new education to be able to fulfill these requirements of the manufacturing environment. If you look at just the auto industry to talk about this change, you see the picture on the left and you see the picture on the right. Can anyone identify any major changes in how that's being performed? Now, you can definitely see the automation line that's happening there, but it's not just labor that ties into this. If you think about the quality of the production line went through the automation, the variation when it comes to efficiency, quality, equipment uptime, if you think about that compared to the picture on the left, we get better quality, and that's what the customers demand. If you think about how involved technology is in our lives, do you want to have high quality? You don't want something to fail. If you think about how much we rely on in our day-to-day lives. If I look at our environment in the semiconductor industry, if you look at when I first started, you would see hundreds of people with carts, driving product all around. You'd see people at a PC typing in measurements off a tool, manually writing information down. If you look at today, it's all automated. We have overhead delivery that's delivering all of our product to the tools. People don't have to do that. All the recipes, all the staging, what needs to run on a tool automatically downloads. All of the data off that product, off any of the measurements, and streaming data off the tool performance is being automatically captured. And so what's happening is in the industry is we have people running these operation systems, these manufacturing systems, and maintaining the equipment. And that's really what's driving the need and demand for technical skill sets, and why we're so vested in getting pipelines built into these technical programs to sustain this manufacturing environment moving forward. Just in the last 5 years, I've seen significant change in the skill sets, education, and knowledge required to work in this environment. Now, if you talk about what I was talking about with people delivering stuff around now, that entire facility is being operated within one room, and we call it the Remote Operations Center. And these are people that used to be delivering product around that are now monitoring the systems. They're making adjustments to the systems. They're analyzing the data, making adjustments to product, to our processes, determining what's processing on what tools, and adjusting our systems. The other thing is bringing them all together enables quicker decision making. So we can't have people just focused on one task. These people are making decisions, taking all the inputs, and making those adjustments, but not one person can do it on their own. It takes several collaborative people to make a good decision. If you look at on the equipment side, within our facility, we're always going to have the troubleshooting on a down piece of equipment. We're always going to have the preventative maintenance that's going to need to be done. But how we manage that equipment is very much different than it used to be. It's not just getting in there and working within the mechanics. It's we can diagnose and we can troubleshoot equipment sometimes before it even goes down and we have a failure. And if you think about the amount of data that we're collecting, if we have 800 machines on the floor, we have 400 processing steps. Our product goes through over 400 processing steps. We have 150 different parameters being monitored. 48 million data signals being collected. And we're taking all of that data, putting into the tool database, and using it to make decisions on whether our product is good or bad, or we're making adjustments to our processes, or we're analyzing our equipment on how it's performing, and we can up with over 1,000 correlations. So this is dramatically different than what's been happening, and this is what's really driving that technical skill set and demand for higher education and higher hires for us. Now, one of the things around all this automation, I do get a lot. I go to speak with different students and schools. They talk about, well, I hear manufacturing jobs are going to be going away. And that's not the case. In fact, there is a huge demand for this technical skill set. And it's just going to change. And as you get into the industry, you need to be prepared. Your work will change over the years. And your ability to learn is what really some of the skill set that you're getting out of your education right now. Even if you look at some of the jobs that didn't exist 10 years ago, social media manager, app developer, driverless car engineer, data scientists are huge within our industry and our company right now. Just the amount of data that's out there and how to get that data, analyze it quickly so you can make quick decisions is key right now. And we're creating new roles within manufacturing, not just manufacturing, but the entire environment. Lesson 2 that I'd like to share here is separate yourself with work ethic and results. So if I think about, a lot of times I have discussions with new employees, or someone wanted to, what's the best thing I can do to advance my career? is learn and perform the best you can in the position that you're at right now. Continue to drive for results. Don't expect that over time things will just improve or I'll get promoted over time. Own your position, do the best that you can in every role that you have, and high quality talent will never be missed. It will never be missed. You will be recognized and you'll be given the opportunities. Career growth is not always a ladder, and that's one thing that I've noticed. We have technical career ladders, but career growth is not always promotions or manager type roles within the technical industry. A lot of times it's moving over, learning new things, becoming those technical experts. Like I said, we can't find the technical talent out there to fulfill all of our needs. So you can have great careers without getting necessarily these promotions, but working within technical career ladders. To talk about some of that, students today have quite a few options. As I mentioned, that manufacturing industry, total employment has gone down a little bit, but the requirements for that employment have gone up. And at least with IM Flash, 2 years of education is a minimum to get hired with IM Flash. But we hire from a 2-year technical program up to 4-year into advanced degrees. But anywhere that you start within IM Flash and where you start within the industry, you still have career growth to gain those technical skills. The learning and education you get in the workplace cannot be replaced. So you can move into the workplace at any point within this education ladder. We have several positions, equipment technicians, process analysts, process technicians with our 2- and 4-year degrees, all the way up to process control engineers, quality engineers. So there's several opportunities. And one of the things with IM Flash, once you get in, you have all those opportunities ahead of you through our career ladders. The third lesson is cooperation and buy-in is better than a quick decision. Good communication skills set you apart when you get into the industry. I talked about our remote operations center. We don't have people working on their own anymore. We have them all working together so they can collaborate and make good decisions. If you look at the complexity around our environment, we have equipment that has to run efficiently, equipment that has to stay up. We have processes that have to stay within control. Our product has to be at a certain quality level as it gets done. All of these different departments and all these different groups have to be working together to make the right decisions to give us the right business environment. So that communication skills is what sets people apart. It's where you separate medium performers from high performers. And you look at the technical skill sets that we have within the environment, use your data to make your decision, but use your communication skills to set it. You can see someone with the same talented technical capabilities, but the ones that are more effective are the ones that have good communication skills and willing to engage with other people. The fourth is never be content. Always push yourself. That's been the key to my career. How can we do this better? You can never be content. Never expect that you're going to get anything more. Drive, look for improvements, show those results, and you will be recognized in the industry. Work for companies that do the same. You want to work for a company that is driving, leading, constantly driving for improvement. You do not want to work for a company that is complacent, feels that they've already reached the top. I've seen firsthand in an industry what can happen when you have companies driving to get out in front. And you go from 29 companies down to about 6. And so I think that happens anywhere in the technology. You can see different companies coming on and then going out of business. Make sure you pick the right company and one that's going to drive and be successful. And look for that as you make those decisions. And then constantly learn and adapt. This is something that you own. Your knowledge gain, your ability to change, your ability to continue to grow as you get in the workplace is what's going to be key. I always say, education is your foundation, your cost of entry. What you do with that education, the skills that you develop, and how you apply them to get results in the workforce is what makes you successful. So in closing, what you learn is your foundation. Your ability to learn will make you successful in the workplace. Once you get in, show you continue to grow, continue to learn as you get into that workplace, and you will be successful. Any questions? Any questions at all? Yeah. We currently just started a 1-year internship program, so people can do an internship as they're going to school, and then be available for full-time hire after that. So we have those posted. I'm not sure when we post those usually. Fall? Over the summer and fall. And we encourage that. Any other questions? Yeah.
What can you tell us about the new 3D technology?
Nothing more than I already have. I apologize. We really can't talk about some of the specifics around the technology. We keep that secret.
Can you tell us if it's still transfer based?
Sorry. I would love to brag, but I honestly can't speak publicly about the technology. Yeah.
So what particular majors and areas of study would you encourage students to pursue that are interested in work that might apply?
You know, we hire a wide range. We electronics. We hire statistics. We hire physics. We hire electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, chemical engineers. We really hire across a whole array of technical degrees. Yes.
That was my very thought, but your industry that you represent is something I'd like to get into. But if someone wanted to maybe too eager to wait for school and just jump into a technician position and then just get at school afterwards while he's working, that a lot of you recommend or you think that should be stay in school while you get the degree and then work?
My recommendation is, you know, we look for at least a 2-year degree. And if you look at, should I go to school while I'm working or just going to school, a lot of times that's a personal decision. And so I would recommend you do what's right for you and your personal decision. Your education will always help you, and I think I'm always going to encourage you to get that education and finish it. If you're able to work it into personal life and get your foot in the door with a company and do both at the same time, there's an advantage to that as well. That was the route that I took. But some people, it's better for them personally, focus on that 2-year degree, 4-year degree, advanced degree up front and work on that first and then go search for a job. Other personal situations may drive, I need that source of income while I'm doing that. And so you have to make those personal decisions. I don't know if one route's the best. I think it comes down to the individual and what your goals are. I was kind of forced into that path with a newborn child. It's kind of what led me to that path. But the one thing I will say, if you do need to work while you're going to school, getting experience that's industry related will always pay off. So you kind of have to find that balance for you, what's best personally.
Well, can I follow up with that?
Yeah.
Will someone who maybe gets away after school while they work for industry, will be rewarded while they're going to school, or is it a quicker path to maybe climb the ladder? I mean, so some of those,
Yeah. When it comes to that career ladder, depending on what education you have, kind of determines what that starting point is. You can move up those technical and those career ladders from any spot. Now, it may take different amounts of time, and that depends upon your rate of learning as you get into the environment. It depends on the results that you're providing. So it may take longer than actually finishing your degree, if you're asking if there's a quicker route. And the other thing that you always have to understand is if you have that education, you may have a longer growth path. So that, you know, there's a lot of different things that come into play. You have to make the right personal decision for you and what your goals are. Yeah.
Within Flash, how correctly do you integrate, you're the manufacturing side, you've got engineering and process management development side. How do those work together and both from the development side, but also from a manpower side?
Yeah, if you look at the way that we're structured, we have a manufacturing, we have process and equipment owners who own the actual tools and the processes. You have a quality team, and then you have a process integration or a technology team, I would say. A lot of that are divided up by process areas, so similar steps, similar equipment. And so you have areas that are split across all those departments making decisions together. Now, they have different roles in what they execute and what they're owned and accountable to, but the decisions and the roadmap for the technology, for the processes, and for the equipment are made together. So across manufacturing, new technology, and process and equipment. And that's really where that collaboration comes into play. If you can't partner and understand the needs of your counterparts, you won't be successful.
So, are you on the manufacturing side? Do you also look for interns that are in the engineering track, or is there another group of people that are working for?
We do have people within the engineering track. There is a larger engineering population within our process and equipment teams, but we do have engineers, engineers as well.
But not, there's another group of, there's a different group of people to talk to for those, as opposed to technicians.
No, they can hire for the specific positions that are open for the company and within our website, and they get routed based upon the ones that they apply for. And that's kind of grouped by that process area. Yeah.
Programs for, so for example, if you hire someone in the you turn out to be a really great employee, or they answer your job really well, that if they wanted to, next year, you're not going back to school, do you help them with that, or bring them back, or is there anything like that?
With the tuition?
Yeah, or time to go back and get, re-educate them to move up in that.
We do have, we do have tuition assistance for those that are working and going to school to help support that. As far as long periods of time away, we don't allow that. We do try to be flexible where we can to meet the employee needs and the business needs. So we do some working within schedules, but as far as long periods of time away, we don't accommodate that. Yes. The more education, the better. I would have to say, it comes down to that individual, how much investment they want to put into that. If someone has a degree, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, can this person be successful in our environment? We know what the education they have, and then we go through the interview process and try to make that selection based upon the best candidate. So that's really what I would focus on. Now, if someone has the bandwidth and the capability to branch out and get that extra information and that education, it's only going to benefit them. It's only going to benefit them, but I don't think it would be a need. And I think it would probably come in with the same position. So again, does that individual have that drive to go get that additional education and branch out versus being targeted on what do I need to get into the industry? Yeah. Not always. I mean, work experience, again, it's always beneficial. If they don't have it, it's not required. We know when people come out of school and they get hired, they're on a huge learning curve. And I would say for everybody in here, when you walk in your first day of work, you're not going to know a lot. You've got the theory, you've got your education, but you've got a lot to learn. And we know that, and we have great training programs to give them that education. They get certified and they go through classes, and so we know there's a large amount of training just to get trained up on the specific work that they'll need to do. The theories and things that you learn at school will directly apply. It just helps you build that foundation to get to the specifics of what you'll be responsible for once you get hired. Good question. People are usually a little intimidated after a few months of, I don't know what I'm doing. But they always catch it and they're successful. Yes?
So in the back of my head, research experience would be kind of like a more
It's definitely a benefit. Again, any experience that you can bring to the table when you go for that interview and to get that selected for that job will be beneficial to you. And I would say as much as you can do, it's always great to have work experience, research experience, anything that you can have that helps you stand out next to the other people that are applying for the position will always put you in a better spot. And that's the same as it goes as you get in the workplace. You know, you take on additional work, additional projects, you show the accomplishments, you show the improvements. That's what sets you apart in your career path. We doing okay on? Okay. Well, I really appreciate the number of questions and engagement, and I appreciate the time tonight. Thank you.